7. I had thought Adha would be the one to lead me to rest, that I might lay down my blade and live as a normal man. But now I know such dreams are best left to sleep. Her face, I try to banish it from my mind as I remember the days and nights during which I chased her Templar captors across the sea. I almost got to them in time, almost, if I had only been faster. Instead I held her lifeless body in my arms, saw the terror reflected in her fixed, unblinking eyes. I hunted each man one by one until all responsible were gone from the world, but there was no joy in this, no satisfaction or release. Their deaths did not bring her back, did not heal my wounds. After that I was certain I would never again feel for a woman as I had for her. I am fortunate to have been wrong. Okay. Why do our instincts insist on violence? I have studied the interactions between different species. Their innate desire to survive seems to demand the death of the other. No, not really. I mean, there are plenty of animals that live in symbiotic relationships. Why can they not stand hand in hand? So many believe the world was created by the hand of a divine power, but I see only the designs of a madman bent on celebrating destruction and desperation. Our origin seems chaotic, unintended, purpose being instilled solely by the passage of time imposed first by nature and later man. No. Over time, any sentence uttered long and loud enough becomes fixed, becomes a truth, provided of course you can outlast the dissent and silence your opponents. But should you succeed and remove all challenges, then what remains is, by default, now true. No, I don't think... It's not just a matter of opinions, because you test your truth against reality as well. Like, if I say the sky is pink, or something. If I say the sky is lime green, and I silence anyone who dares to say that the sky is not lime green, it doesn't make the sky lime green. The sky is still blue, usually. Like, I'm still wrong, even if there's no one else to, or if there's no one left to oppose me. Does that make sense? Anyway, is it truth in some objective sense? No, but how does one ever achieve an objective point of view? The answer is you don't. It is literally physically impossible. There are too many variables, too many fields and formulae to consider. We can try, of course. We can inch closer and closer to a revelation, but we'll never reach it. Not ever. That's an opinion. Hold on. I'm not sure if this is correct. This one here. I'll rotate. Okay, that was wrong. So now I've solved the it was upside down. Now I've solved the puzzle. Page 10, no text data. Zoom to see image data. Okay, there's an apple. There's a robot apple, and then there's a robot thing. And then there's a guy with ideas coming out of his head, and then there's people watching him. Interesting. Page 11. Attius, Dionysus, Horus, Krishna, Mithra, Jesus. Similar stories color their lives, too similar I think. Divine birthright, prosecution, disciples, miraculous acts, resurrection. How is it possible? Perhaps it isn't, merely a single story told over the ages. Borrowed, then changed to fit the times. Evolving as our tools and language do. Is this tale born of fact or fiction, a bit of both? Could these figures be the same person, their life extended and transformed by a piece of Eden? Al-Mualim spoke of Jesus as a real person, a mortal who had mastered the arts of manipulation. But what if he was wrong? If these men are real, and they have walked amongst us many times before, does it mean they'll come again? Perhaps they are here now, so many questions, and every day even more. Okay, that doesn't really... Not sure that makes sense. No text data, zoom to see image data. So that's the sun and the planets. Interestingly, the sun is located at the center of the solar system, which is unusual in olden times. Although the Greeks figured that out too, like the Greeks figured it out, and then I guess the knowledge was lost over time. They figured out that, or at least it was possible that the Earth was not the center of the universe, that the sun was in fact the center of the solar system. The hidden blade. Oh, I can look at this too. It's not just text. So there's the double hidden blade. There's the pull and the jump and the hay pile assassinations. The hidden blade has been a constant companion of ours over the years. Some would say even say it defines us, and they would not be entirely wrong. Many of our successes would not have been possible without it. Still, the device has begun to show its age, and so I have begun researching improvements beyond ending the need to remove one's finger to wield it. The first is the addition of a metal plate that can be used to deflect incoming blows. The other assassins believe it is forged of a new metal, and credit me with the discovery of the formulae included on this page. It is better they not know the truth. I have also worked with Malik to describe new methods of assassinations from on high, from ledges, and from hiding places. Basic movements, but critical nonetheless. Actually, was that all of it? No, the third and final improvement is the most simple, the provision of a second blade, identical in every way to the third. Should an assassin ever find himself tasked with dispatching two targets, he needs only time his strike in such a way that he might reach both at the same time. These blades will be limited in number since the metals which we forged them remain difficult to obtain. I will need to think carefully about who shall be allowed to carry two. I don't know, it's just metal. You can always... I don't know. Can't you just make... I don't know, lower quality ones? For people who you don't want to give the good ones to. So there was hold on. So even for the text ones, there's still images. Oh no, that one doesn't have an image, my bad. Let's just continue forward. Page 14. Man seeks dominion over all he encounters. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's entirely true. I suppose it is a natural tendency for us to aspire towards mastery of our surroundings, but this should not include other human beings. Every day more and more are pressed into service by deception or by force. Others, though not so firmly imprisoned, are made to feel as if their lives are worthless. I have seen the ways in which men prosecute women, heard the cruel words hurled at those who come here from other lands, watched as those who believe or act differently are made to suffer. We discuss such things often, watching as we do from the spires of Masyaf. What can be done to stop this? To encourage tolerance and equality. Some days we speak of education, believing that knowledge will free us from immorality. But as I walk the streets and see slaves sent off to auction, my heart grows cold. When I see the husband hurl abuses and stones at his wife, insisting she exists only to serve him, my fists clench. And when I see children torn from their parents so that another man might profit, sent off to suffer beneath the desert sun and die, on these days I do not think that dialogue will make a difference. On these days I can think only of how the perpetrators need to die. You can't kill everyone, man. Nor can you change everyone. No text data, zoom, that is... Malta? The Mediterranean Ocean, is it Malta or Cyprus? I think that's Cyprus actually, my bad. It's not a very detailed map though, is it? Page 16. The apple is more than a catalogue of that which precedes us. Within its twisting, sparkling innards I've caught glimpses of what will be. Such a thing should not be possible. Perhaps it isn't. Maybe it is simply a suggestion. How to know, how to be sure. I contemplate the consequences of these visions. Are they images of things to come, or simply the potential for what might be? Can we influence the outcome? Dare we try? And in so doing, do we merely ensure that which we have seen? I am torn as always between action and inaction, unclear as to which, if either, will make a difference. Am I even meant to make a difference? Still I keep this journal. Is that not an attempt to change, or perhaps guarantee what I have seen? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Why are you asking me? Of all the things I've seen, none troubles me more than the images, or than the image of the flames. Pillars so tall they seemed to pierce the heavens. The ground rumbled and shuddered. Mountains split and cracked. Great metal towers splintered, their innards strewn about the ground. And everywhere there was screaming, a chorus so terrible that even now I feel its echoes still. What is this madness I have seen? Is it them, I wonder, those who came before? Is this where they went, into the fire, into the dust? Perhaps this destructive power is what the Templars seek, that they might hold it over us and command devotion. What hope would we have then, if they held such darkness in their hands, that they could murder the world? We can murder the world right now with nuclear weapons. 18. We are obliged to hide, to be silent, to shape the course of history in secret. But some of my brothers and sisters disagree. They grow angry, insisting it is a mistake to shroud ourselves. They say it slows our work, but they do not understand the risks. To expose ourselves now would be too dangerous. I fear we would be branded madmen and attacked. So it goes, sure it always has. That's kind of dangerous. That's the sort of conspiracy thinking that leads you to craziness. The idea is that, people don't understand, we have to work in the shadows. Yeah, 'cause you're crazy. If there's one thing I know for certain, it is that men do not learn by being told. Instead, they must be shown. They must make the connections themselves. If I say unto a man, be kind, be tolerant, be of an open mind, these words will wither and die long before they've affected change. It would be a waste, and so we must maintain our course. Legend speaks of a golden fleece. Could the two be related? I have further refined the metallurgic process, allowed for the production of a suit of armor the likes of which the world has never seen. It is possessed of great strength, yet so light as to allow complete freedom. I alternate between wonder and fear. Here we have crafted something that will surely change the face of warfare, making those who wear it nigh invincible. Perhaps it was a mistake to create these pieces. I think it best to erase the formulae. What if it were to fall into the hands of our enemies? The risk is too great. Someone's gonna discover it again at some point. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, there's Altair's armor. That's the stuff we're wearing right now. Page 20. I have studied the ancient pagan faiths that came before this more recent obsession with a single divine creator. They seem to have focused more on the fundamental forces at play in the world around us and less on arbitrary moral rules. The sun rises in the morning and sets in the evening. The tides ebb and flow. Grass grows, withers, dies, and then in time emerges from the ground once more. The air turns warm, then cools and back again. Some hidden energy keeps us fitted to the ground and pulls us back when we attempt to leave it. Each of these movements was presented before by a god or goddess, each force given face, but recognized as something distinct and powerful, which is not to say there was not connection between these forces. A pantheon of individual spirits, of rules, invisible hands guiding the progress of the world around us. And so here there was an attempt to categorize, study, explain, and understand the way things work, even if it was flawed, but no more. Now we are asked to succumb to a far more simplified explanation. How naive to believe there might be a single answer to every question, every mystery, that there exists a lone divine light which rules over all. They say it is a light that brings truth and love. I say it is a light that blinds us, that forces us to stumble about in ignorance. I long for the day when men will turn away from invisible monsters and once more embrace a more rational view of the world. But these new religions are so convenient, and promise such terrible punishment should one reject them. I worry that fear shall keep us stuck to what is surely the greatest lie ever told. Ooh, controversy. Alright, page 21. Let's just see what that is. Oh, this is poison. Whoa, hey, haven't read it yet. One may cultivate extracts from various plants found throughout the region. More exotic species can sometimes be obtained from traders and travelers, but their properties are less documented and require further examination. Traditional alchemical implements can be used to distill the poison. Care should be used as certain poisons can be absorbed through exposed skin. Many are those who have lost their lives to carelessness. That's terrible. One's blade should be hollowed according to the specifications listed herein. Deviation may create fractures within the metal, causing the blade to weaken and possibly break. So there's the poisoned blade. Okay, what's this one? What to make of this map? Haha. The world map. Wait a minute, it's missing the Americas. What to make of this map? It appears to contain the entire world, not flat as they claim either, but round, like a ball, like the apple. But how is such a thing even possible? Stranger still are the lands it shows, great patches of the unknown, the unexplored. So many places yet to be discovered. Are there men there? Are they like us? And if not different, how? I should like to know the answers. Perhaps in time I'll have the chance to travel, to chart a course and make my way to these distant lands. Or not. No text data, zoom to see image. So that's parkouring. Walking. Walking is one of the skills. Running, climbing, jumping, okay, so parkour skills. Cool. Some days I miss my family, or at least the thought of them. I never knew my parents well, despite them both having lived within these walls. It was our way. Perhaps they were sad, though they showed no sign. It was not allowed. For my part, so much of my youth was spent in training, there was little time left to reflect on the separation. And so when they were finally lost to me, it seemed no different than the passing of two strangers. Our Mualim has been as my father, and his was a weak and dishonest love. Though at the time it seemed enough, better even, or so I thought. Some day I will have a child, such is the way of our order, and I will not make the same mistake, nor any who calls himself assassin. We shall be allowed to love our children, and in turn to be loved. Our Mualim believe such attachments would weaken us, cause us to falter when our lives were on the line. But if we truly fight for what is just, does love not make such sacrifices simpler, knowing that we do so for their gain? Yes, Altair, yes. Page 25. Oh, hey, this is the woman. She's a Templar. That's the woman he made babies with. I have the answer now. I know the truth. I shall not touch that wretched thing again. Best that no one do, now or ever. I have tried at least to destroy it, but it will neither bend nor break nor melt. Oh, the irony! I am certain if I am asked. The apple would tell me what need be done. But even this promise is insufficient. Always it holds one more gift to give. I must refrain, so it shall be sealed. We will take it to the island. Once theirs, now ours. Oh, they took Crete? Or is this... must be Crete. Hold on. There's a treasury there, hidden well, and it shall have to suffice. Risky to separate myself from the artifact, that others may discover it. Riskier still to keep it close. In time I will be tempted. I am weak. We all are. Who wouldn't be? Oh, the things I've seen. The tale is here, inside the text. Not between the lines, but beneath them, where only our eyes might peer. Go and see it for yourself, that you might succeed where I and the others have failed. Time marches on, bringing with it new discoveries and new developments, and so at least one day the door might be opened and the message delivered. They will have their prophet. Ah, the prophet. And this is the map, by the way.